Hey Siri, what's on the calendar for today?
Here's your appointment. All day today. TEDx.
So my speech today talks about listening to your own advice. What does that mean exactly? Well, I think it's a pretty strange way to start, my talk. It's saying that you already have all the answers inside of you. So what is there left for me to say? What I've understood so far from life is that the place that you actually have to look into is right here, right inside. And instead of comparing yourself to others, comparing our failures, our successes, our downfalls, mistakes, all we have to do is just focus our energy and concentration on how we can become better. Oftentimes, we become so profoundly cynical and critical, focusing only on our flaws and mistakes. Some can't even stand solitude because their relationship with themselves is unbearable. It seems like the mind is always judging something, never actually letting go of its analysis. We become our own worst judge and sometimes even worst enemy, as we drain ourselves out of our vital energy by constantly overthinking everything. We stop trusting others, but then also mostly ourselves. We wish we were better, brighter, wiser. We get lost and confused with all the possibilities of all the different things that we could have done or all the different people that we could have been. We forget about the most important relationship that we have in life, and it's the relationship that we have with our own selves. And by doing that, we compromise its quality. When we feel disconnected and lost, these moments of pure clarity seem so rare, but we simply have forgotten the power we naturally all have within and the absolute fascinating mystery of it. Luckily, we all have access to that place at any times given. So just think about it and imagine that place deep within that only tells absolute truth. Concentrate, close your eyes, and imagine yourself in a place where you feel absolute and pure happiness. Where are you? What are you doing? Who are you with? Concentrate on that feeling and that idea and do everything in your power to make it become true. And trust me, you will get there. So just to give you a little introduction about me, my name is Kristina, and I like to think that I chose to dedicate my life to passion and creativity. Right now, at this very moment, it means standing here in front of all of you and talking and exchanging. At other times, right now in my life, it means making music, doing fashion, creating art. I tried a lot of different things out growing up, but I always knew that my path was in the creative field. I wanted a life that was full and adventurous. I wanted to write my own story instead of following something that seemed predetermined. And that meant following my intuition. I always loved writing, and so I began a blog at the age of 17, and actually a lot of people started reading it, which really surprised me because I didn't expect it at all. And I loved having this freedom of expression, this ability to be able to exchange with people from all around the world. But being behind a computer screen felt very secure and comforting. And who wants to stay in their comfort zone forever? I believe that restricting ourselves to doing only one thing our whole life is actually limiting our endless potential and the possibility to rediscover ourselves anew. No one knows right away what they want to do their whole life. Sometimes we think that our dreams are so far away when they're right in front of us. We're so focused on wanting our dream to become a reality that we experience the wanting of it and not its realization. So there I was. I always wanted to become a singer. Singing has always been something very, very personal and intimate for me. It felt like opening the most vulnerable part of my soul and letting people look in. For a very long time, I couldn't even sing in front of anyone. I was constantly wondering whether I was good enough and looking for some kind of validation or approval in the eyes of others. When actually, the only approval that I needed and that I was actually seeking for was my own. I was waiting for things to happen instead of making them happen and not being aware of them happening when they already were. So my message has always been to follow your dreams. no matter what they are, and no matter where they take you. Just follow that gut instinct, that feeling deep down inside your stomach. And my question was I really following my dream? This whole process required some introspection. So I wonder, why would other people believe in you if you don't believe in yourself? When you let fear blur your intentions, your experience of life becomes ruled by this constant doubt. Both fear and doubt hold you back from living your most elevated life. For why waste your time with confused thinking? You need to become your best ally, best friend, and best supporter. Give yourself all the power and strength to get there, and you will. You are the helper that you're looking for. So master your abilities. Trust your raw natural talent. We all have our own unique set of skills that is completely subjective and personal to each one of us. So it is our duty to each one of us to craft it and polish it. This doesn't just happen by learning spiritual phrases, quotes, or philosophical theory. It's focus, awareness, dedication. Discovering yourself goes through an actual opening, an exploration that isn't always that easy. It's about letting go of preset ideas of what's right or wrong, not lying to yourself, and setting the bar accordingly. Your mind becomes your best instrument. So play each chord individually. Tighten or loosen the strings until the sound is beautiful and harmonious. Think profoundly. Untangle the knots on your mind. Ask yourself the right questions and search for that harmony within you. I often get asked, who do you look up to? And my answer usually is, well, I look up to what I wish I could become, the highest idea of it. And I try to use my energy wisely, always trying to think somehow out of the box. All the rules around us have been established by people just like you and me. So be aware of the rules, but eventually always try to make up your own ones. And just trust yourself. Use this confidence to make your time really matter. We're in this body, in this life, we're here, even if this might be some kind of virtual simulation, like a lot of people like to think. Wouldn't you at least want to see and know how far you can go and what you can actually reach by being the best version of you? Feel and touch with your own bare hands all the beauty of the world and get access to the next level of enlightenment. Everything is at your fingertips. The only thing that could hold you back is yourself and the boundaries that you choose to set. Use your imagination, stay connected to the dreams that you had as a child, and never lose that spark and this playful curiosity for life, as it is your experimentational field. I truly think that our mission here is to create, simply create in its purest, most simple form, and whatever it means to you only, now in the present moment. Only you know the highest idea you have of yourself and what you know to be capable of. We're creating every single second of our life. Even through simple thought, you are already creating. So what do you dedicate most of your time thinking about? You can shift your thoughts once you're aware of that and make them contribute to a passion that's truly meaningful to you. And do everything in your power to manifest your intentions. When you practice doing what makes your heart full, it can be the simplest task. You actually create something valuable and you don't even know it, but you're already contributing. So you'll see that there's always room for improvement and learning, even when you think that you've mastered your skill to the best. Projections do manifest, and we all know about the laws of attraction. Whatever we put our energy and thinking into becomes reality. So be careful what you wish for. As right now in this very moment, it's the creation and the realization of your previous thoughts that led eventually to action and then to decision-taking. You're always responsible in some way of where you are and of where you're going. We think that we don't have a choice, that life controls us, but we can only really control ourselves. We all have the same amount of hours in a day, and trust me, we all feel the same butterflies in our stomach when getting out of our comfort zone and really taking a leap of faith. But nothing makes us feel more alive than doing that. You'll understand that time is an abstract notion when you start living that way. Of course, some would say that we all obey to some kind of law of predetermination, but I believe that by using our minds properly, we can choose our best path and make the most out of what we are born with, thus leading to an extraordinary experience of life, witnessing all of its facets. Money can even become a reward instead of a necessity. And it's not even a burden anymore, you know? You don't make your decisions by economic pressures. You'll have the pure confidence that it's coming and that it won't compromise your responsibilities or integrity. Instead, you will know that the true value of your work and that the workflow is never ending, for passion is never ending. It might sound simple, but it's actually concentration and constant awareness and practice. It seems so hard to go within. It's like we don't have the keys to our own inside doors, and it's like at times we're strangers in our own house. We often feel like we aren't ready. We know the right time will come. We just have to do some suffering first because we need to merit happiness. Who said that? We have to deserve it by going through pain first? But happiness is a choice, just like love is a choice. Hate is a choice too. And sometimes, indeed, pain is necessary. It makes us learn faster. It makes us feel deeper. It is an important element of life that will always remain, and it is by accepting its utility that it appears clearer how everything happens for a reason, and how everything is a matter of how you react to it and how you make smart use of it. There is no hierarchy to suffering. We all have a very personal experience of it. So, as hard as it is, try to be grateful for pain. It makes us write some of our most beautiful songs. It makes us understand some of the most important life lessons and appreciate the moment of pure happiness even more. It makes us human. Everything is a matter of equilibrium, of dualities, opposite forces merging together to create energy and life. Black and white, good and bad, all of it needs to coexist inside of you in harmony. It is so important to understand our own unique rhythm and respect it. We're all on completely different and subjective paths. There is no point in blaming yourselves for not coming up with all the right answers right away, or for having to try a few things out first before jumping into the next train. Also, no point in comparing ourselves to others. Instead, we should be proud of our learnings, of our fallings, and be stronger, more intelligent when we rise again, each time clearer in our intentions. Falling is part of any learning process. Because now with internet, we think that everything goes so fast, and we think that so should we. But we already have computers to do all the fast work. Here, as humans, our wonder is to be able to do slow, introspective work. We might forget it nowadays with our severely individualistic points of view, but we are all deeply interconnected. And by simply being the best version of you, by striving to be great, you will naturally generate an exponential tree of opportunities and touch, move, and inspire people without even noticing. The problem is when we set expectations, when we are waiting for an end result. And we seem to never get there. The magic operates when your goal is simply you realizing your dream, living it, doing the work. You cannot ever completely anticipate your journey. No one knows just how things turn out exactly, and we have to allow life to surprise us at times. So don't be too impatient. Life is conspiring in your favor, and it will keep putting you through the same challenges over and over again until you learn, understand, and change your thought pattern. Our reality, in the end, is just a reflection of our state of mind. On a larger scale, when we all avoid introspection, the world itself seems to suffer. For we all become sort of like walking zombies, alive but asleep. We look for healing outside of ourselves through medicine, drugs, alcohol, when our bodies are equipped with their own internal healing tools. We forget about the power of love, unconditional love, and trust that you're supposed to constantly be giving to yourselves. When your actions come from a place of love, you have absolutely nothing to lose, nothing to fear, and no regrets to have because you're always sure that you gave your best. Everything is a matter of balance. So to live fully is to listen to all the different facets of your being, but being led by your heart. So let your body, mind, spirit work together. Let your heart guide your mind, guide your body. If we fear a time comparable to science fiction movies with cyborg demons running around, well, maybe we can all take a step back to actually look in instead of constantly looking out. We would perhaps know how we can then utilize technologies to our greatest advantage and maybe create more peace. Imagine how much further we could go if we all took the time to do this work. So, how can we make a change? Well, I think that it is by waking up, trusting ourselves, going within, dealing with our fears and demons, laughing at them, turning them into art, and letting them go. Focusing on the best we have to offer, being balanced, conscious, helping yourself first in order to better help others. Talking about spirituality feels sometimes like discussing a new yoga trend, but spirituality is the study of your deep within, the thought behind the thought, the higher you talking to yourself, and giving yourself the best advice at heart always. It's a place that's still very mysterious, that none can format into definite terms. If you don't acknowledge that, you ignore a whole part of you that only wishes to speak its truth and manifest itself to enhance your experience of reality into a whole other level of living and consciousness. You will see your life shifting, becoming even better than your dreams. You will stop thinking and just enjoy the ride. So no matter what stage you find yourself in, just say thank you for what you have already. Be grateful and focused as you are already living the journey. Think about it. Perhaps the greatest quest we go through in our lives is that inner self-exploration, finding those answers we seek, or maybe simply even remembering what we always knew, understanding deep down very clearly why we are actually here. So, to end this time together, I would like to share with you a few beautiful words from one of my favorite writers, Rainer Maria Rilke, and his book, Letters to a Young Poet. Have patience with everything that remains unsolved in your heart. Try to look the questions themselves, like locked rooms and like books written in foreign languages. Do not now look for the answer. They cannot now be given to you because you could now live them. It is a question of experiencing everything. At present, you need to live the question. Perhaps you will gradually, without even noticing it, find yourself experiencing the answer some distant day. Thank you.